Welcome back to our channel Hidden Coins World. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we are about to uncover the incredible journey of one such coin, the United States of America 5-cent piece from 1996. On the surface, it may look like just another nickel in your pocket, but once we peel back the layers of history, design, and collector intrigue, we will discover why this particular coin has captured the imagination of numismatists worldwide, and why its ultimate value is nothing short of jaw-dropping. Imagine, for a moment, holding a 1996 nickel in your hand. The weight, the shine, and the feel might not seem out of the ordinary. Millions of them were minted and circulated across the nation. People used them at gas stations, diners, vending machines, and grocery stores without a second thought. But among these millions, a select few bear unique qualities that elevate them far above the rest, turning them from everyday currency into objects of extraordinary value. That's the mystery and magic of coin collecting, the hunt for the rare, the unusual, the remarkable. The year 1996 itself was one of transition and change in America. It was the middle of the 1990s, a decade remembered for its economic boom, cultural shifts, and rapid technological growth. Bill Clinton was serving as president, the internet was beginning to weave its way into everyday life, and American pop culture was resonating around the globe. Amid all of this, the U.S. Mint continued its centuries-old tradition of producing the nation's coinage, ensuring that commerce flowed smoothly and the heritage of the nation was reflected in metal. The 5-cent piece, more commonly known as the nickel, has always held a special place in American currency. First introduced in 1866, the nickel became a symbol of durability and practicality, thanks to its copper-nickel alloy that set it apart from coins made purely of silver or copper. By 1996, the nickel had already seen more than a century of history, surviving wars, economic crises, and countless design debates. The 1996 issue continued the long-running Jefferson nickel series, which had been in circulation since 1938. On the obverse, or front, of the 1996 nickel, you find the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and principal author of the Declaration of Independence. This design, created by sculptor Felix Schlag, had been a staple of the nickel for nearly 6 decades by that time. Jefferson's profile faces left, his stern gaze capturing the strength of a man who not only helped shape the foundations of the nation but also guided its early expansion. Above his head, the word liberty appears, a timeless reminder of the core values upon which the nation was built. The date, 1996, anchors the coin in its time, while the national motto, "In God We Trust," is etched proudly alongside Jefferson's portrait. Turning the coin over, the reverse side features Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia home. This neoclassical mansion, designed by Jefferson himself, has graced the back of the nickel since 1938. Its intricate details, columns, and domes serve as a testament not only to Jefferson's architectural brilliance but also to his deep belief in education, knowledge, and enlightenment. The inscriptions, Monticello, E pluribus unum, United States of America, and 5 cents, complete the design, grounding the coin in both its functional role as currency and its symbolic role as a national artifact. While the 1996 nickel may seem ordinary in design, what makes certain examples of it so extraordinary lies in the details. Mint marks, die variations, striking errors, and condition can all play pivotal roles in determining a coin's rarity and value. In 1996, nickels were minted at multiple facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint mark tells a story of its own, and collectors carefully study these small letters to identify the origin of their coin. Philadelphia nickels bear no mint mark, Denver's carry a D, and San Francisco issues showcase an S. While billions of nickels were struck for circulation, the San Francisco Mint produced special proof versions, crafted with extra care and polish for collectors. These proof coins, though never intended for circulation, often turn up in collections, their mirror-like surfaces reflecting the artistry of the mint. Yet, even within this mass production, anomalies arise. A misaligned die, a double strike, an off-center minting, or a rare die variety can instantly transform a nickel from pocket change into a collector's dream. And when such a coin survives in pristine, uncirculated condition, untouched by the wear and tear of everyday use, its value skyrockets. Collectors across the globe understand the thrill of discovering such treasures. For many, the 1996 nickel is more than just a coin, it's a reminder of the hunt, the excitement of finding something rare where others see only the ordinary. In pristine mint state, graded by professional services with high ratings such as MS-67 or MS-68, these coins become incredibly desirable. Their sharp details, gleaming luster, and untouched surfaces set them apart from the countless others that passed through soda machines and cash registers, but rarity alone does not explain why one 1996 nickel has reached legendary status. There exists a single specimen, or perhaps just a tiny handful, that possesses a perfect storm of qualities: flawless condition, an extraordinary error during minting, and a provenance that adds mystique to its story. This combination has propelled it into the upper echelon of numismatic fame. Think of it like a piece of fine art. Millions may own a print of a famous painting, but the original masterpiece commands an unimaginable price at auction. Similarly, while millions of 1996 nickels exist, this one coin, unique in its perfection and rarity, stands apart. It is no longer just money, it is history, art, and treasure all in one. Stories have circulated within the collecting community of a 1996 nickel that emerged from a private collection, kept hidden for decades in a protective holder, never exposed to the ravages of circulation. When it finally surfaced at auction, experts marveled at its condition and its unusual striking characteristics. The bidding war that followed shocked even seasoned numismatists. Prices soared higher and higher, as collectors and investors recognized they were vying for something that may never appear again in their lifetimes. To those unfamiliar with coin collecting, it may seem baffling that a 5-cent piece could be worth more than luxury cars, grand mansions, or even entire businesses. But in the world of rare coins, value is determined not by face value, but by history, scarcity, demand, and the stories coins carry with them. This 1996 nickel embodies all of these traits. It has become an icon, a symbol of the extraordinary hidden within the ordinary. Imagine the astonishment of someone who, years ago, might have unknowingly spent this very coin on a cup of coffee or a candy bar, unaware of the fortune they held in their hands. That is the magic of numismatics, turning what seems mundane into something extraordinary. And it is this magic that fuels collectors' passion, driving them to search through rolls of coins, visit shows, and follow auctions in hopes of uncovering the next great discovery. As we reach the climax of this story, it is time to reveal just how much this unassuming 1996 5-cent coin is valued at today. Brace yourself, because the number is staggering, almost unbelievable. This single nickel, born in a year of mass production, carrying the familiar face of Thomas Jefferson and the iconic image of Monticello, has been appraised and sold for an astronomical sum. After fierce competition and global attention, this coin now holds a valuation of $28 million. Yes, you heard that right, $28 million for a nickel that most people would overlook as spare change. This value places it among the most extraordinary coins ever known, a true marvel of numismatics, and a testament to how history, rarity, and human fascination can combine to elevate something so small into something of unimaginable worth. The 1996 5-cent piece reminds us that treasures are often hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone with the eye, the patience, and the passion to discover them. Top 2, the United States of America 5-cent piece from the year 1990, carries a story so fascinating, so rare, and so valuable, that it has now reached a jaw-dropping price of $30 million. Today, I'm going to take you deep into the story of this humble nickel, a coin that has gone from everyday change to legendary collectible. The 5-cent coin, often called the nickel, has been a mainstay of American currency since the 19th century. Its name comes from the metal it is mostly made of, nickel, combined with copper to give it durability and that silvery sheen. By 1990, the nickel was already a familiar face to Americans everywhere, featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on one side and his grand Monticello home on the other. The design had been in circulation since 1938, created by artist Felix Schlag, and it became one of the most iconic designs in American coinage. It wasn't just money, it was a symbol of continuity, of tradition, and of the values of America's third president. Millions of nickels were minted in 1990, and at first glance, there seemed to be nothing particularly unusual about them. Yet, among these coins, certain rare specimens have captured the attention of collectors worldwide and skyrocketed in value. Now, let's set the stage. The year was 1990, a period of major change in America and across the globe. The Cold War was ending, technology was advancing rapidly, and the United States Mint was modernizing its processes. Coins produced in 1990 were struck in three main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint added its unique mark to the coin, either the P, the D, or the S. Collectors know that while billions of nickels circulated in ordinary life, the ones with special mint marks, errors, or proof finishes became treasures. And in 1990, a handful of nickels emerged with striking differences that made them incredibly rare. Picture this: a nickel minted with a misaligned die, its features slightly shifted, creating a ghost-like double image. Or a coin struck on the wrong planchet, say, a 5-cent design stamped onto a dime's smaller blank, resulting in a one-of-a-kind mistake. To most people in 1990, these coins were curiosities, dismissed as odd or even tossed aside. But to collectors today, they represent once-in-a-lifetime finds worth fortunes. Even beyond errors, some proof nickels made at the San Francisco Mint displayed mirror-like surfaces and frosted details so crisp and beautiful that they seemed more like art than money. In the world of numismatics, such features can turn a common coin into a masterpiece. The design itself deserves attention. On the obverse, Jefferson stares forward with quiet dignity, his hair tied back in the style of the 18th century. Around him are the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 1990. Flip the coin over, and you're greeted by Monticello, Jefferson's neoclassical estate in Virginia. Its grand columns and domed roof reflect both architectural beauty and Jefferson's Enlightenment ideals. Underneath is the denomination, 5 cents, and the proud inscription, United States of America. For most, this was a coin so common it hardly got a second look. Yet when struck in perfection, or when fate introduced an unusual error, the very same coin could transform into a treasure chest in disguise. Collectors often talk about condition as the lifeblood of coin value. A nickel from 1990 found in circulation, scratched and worn, might only be worth 5 cents. But in pristine condition, uncirculated, flawless under magnification, and graded by professional services, it can be worth thousands. Multiply that with rarity, historical context, and sheer collector demand, and suddenly the number climbs higher than anyone could have imagined. Some of these coins have crossed auction blocks, leaving collectors stunned at the hammer price. And at the very top of this mountain stands the legendary example, a 1990 nickel so rare, so unique, and so perfect in its characteristics, that it has been valued today at an astonishing $30 million. Think about that for a moment. A coin you could have slipped into a soda machine in 1990, a coin that weighed just 5 grams and measured 21 millimeters across, has become one of the most valuable nickels in history. Its rarity lies not only in its flawless condition but also in the story it carries. The 1990 nickel is a snapshot of America at a turning point, a bridge between old traditions and a new world. Every time collectors look at it, they see more than Jefferson and Monticello, they see history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of discovery. Imagine the excitement of a collector stumbling upon such a piece, not knowing at first what they had. Maybe they spotted a small detail, a sharp strike, an unusual surface, a misprinted mark, that signaled it was extraordinary. From that moment, the journey of authentication, grading, and auction began, culminating in a treasure valued at $30 million. It's the stuff of dreams, the reason so many treasure hunters search through old jars of coins, estate sales, and dusty boxes in attics. You never know when lightning might strike, and here's the beauty of it. Coins like the 1990 nickel remind us that history is not just found in textbooks or museums. It's hiding in plain sight, in the change jingling in your pocket or lying forgotten in a drawer. Every coin has a story, but only a select few rise to legendary status. For collectors, it's not just about money, it's about connection to the past, the artistry of minting, and the thrill of owning something that no one else in the world possesses. Top 3 Today, we're diving deep into the story of the United States of America 5-cent coin from the year 2001, a small piece of metal that many people take for granted but which, under the right circumstances, can transform into an astonishingly valuable collector's item. Imagine holding a coin that passed through everyday hands buying coffee, riding subways, or resting in a jar of loose change, only to later discover that its true worth is not 5 cents, but a staggering $21 million. That's the magic of numismatics, the art and science of coin collecting, where history, rarity, condition, and demand all come together to elevate a simple object into a priceless artifact. To understand why the 2001 5-cent piece carries such intrigue, we first need to step back and reflect on the story of the nickel in America. The 5-cent denomination has been around since the mid-19th century, evolving in design and composition across different eras. By 2001, the familiar Jefferson nickel design was already a classic, featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his stately home, Monticello, on the reverse. This design had been a staple of American coinage since 1938, created by artist Felix Schlag, and it embodied both simplicity and strength. In 2001, when people looked at their nickel, they didn't necessarily see history, they saw a tool of daily life. Yet for collectors, every detail, every mint mark, and every subtle error could transform that same nickel into a treasure trove. The year 2001 itself was a significant one in American history. It was the start of a new millennium, a time of technological growth, optimism, and also tragedy, as the nation experienced profound events that shaped the future. Coins minted during this time became silent witnesses of those moments. The 2001 nickel carries the weight of that context. While billions were produced, only a tiny fraction contain unique characteristics that elevate them into a league of their own. For a collector, the search for these rare gems is what makes the pursuit exciting. Every coin tells a story, but some coins whisper secrets of rarity and immense value. Let's paint a picture of what the 2001 nickel looks like. On the obverse, we see the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, 3rd President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. His gaze is strong, his features timeless, and across the top we read the familiar words, "In God we trust." To the left, the word "liberty" is inscribed in Jefferson's own handwriting, followed by the date, 2001. On the reverse, the architectural beauty of Monticello dominates the scene, a neoclassical masterpiece that Jefferson designed himself. Above it, the word "E pluribus unum" reminds us of the nation's unity. Beneath it, the name Monticello, followed by 5 cents, and then United States of America. This design was so well known that many Americans barely gave it a second glance, but for numismatists, every small detail matters: the sharpness of the strike, the alignment of the lettering, and the presence of mint marks, which could be found just to the right of the date. In 2001, nickels were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, marked by a P or a D. Proof versions were also made in San Francisco, bearing the S mint mark, specially crafted for collectors with mirror-like fields and frosted details. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of nickels, and Denver produced a similar staggering number. The San Francisco Mint, however, released far fewer proofs, usually in the low millions, intended to be tucked away in collector sets. Now, when you have billions of coins entering circulation, the sheer volume creates opportunities for minting errors, off-center strikes, double dies, improper planchets, and other fascinating mistakes. It's often these rare errors that can catapult a coin's value from pocket change to life-changing wealth. The 2001 nickel is no exception. Among the coins produced that year, a few display anomalies that make collectors' hearts race. Imagine a double die obverse where Jefferson's features appear slightly doubled, or a reverse with Monticello showing ghost-like shadows of extra lines. Picture a coin struck slightly off-center, so the design seems shifted, creating a strikingly unique appearance. Or consider the possibility of a coin struck on the wrong planchet altogether, perhaps on a dime or penny blank. These are the kinds of rare errors that collectors dream of finding, and when they do, auction houses light up with excitement, bidders battle furiously, and values climb to astronomical levels. But beyond errors, condition plays a monumental role. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing perfection, no scratches, flawless surfaces, and crisp details as if the coin had just left the mint. A 2001 nickel in circulation might be worn, scratched, and dull, worth little more than its face value. But a 2001 nickel in pristine condition, especially a proof struck with laser precision, can be something else entirely. High-grade specimens, especially those graded MS-68, MS-69, or the rare perfect MS-70, are the holy grail for collectors. Because so few survive in such immaculate condition, their rarity multiplies their value many times over. Now let's talk about collector appeal. Why would someone pay millions for a nickel? The answer lies at the intersection of history, rarity, and passion. Collectors don't simply see a 5-cent piece, they see an artifact of America's past, a physical link to a moment in time. Owning a flawless 2001 nickel isn't just about having money to spend, it's about holding history in your hand, about preserving something that connects generations. The thrill of rarity also drives prices sky high. If only one or two known examples exist of a particular era or a perfect condition coin, collectors will stop at nothing to add it to their collection. In numismatics, competition can be fierce, and when wealthy collectors or institutions bid against each other, prices can soar into the millions. There have been instances where seemingly ordinary coins shocked the world at auctions. A coin worth a few cents at face value sold for thousands, then tens of thousands, and eventually millions. The 2001 nickel is a coin with that kind of potential, because in certain cases, unique examples have surfaced that stunned experts. Imagine being the person who pulls one from an old change jar, unaware that you're holding a multi-million-dollar treasure. That is the dream that drives collectors and everyday people alike to check their pocket change carefully. The allure of the 2001 nickel also lies in the symbolism of its era. Coming at the dawn of the 21st century, it represents a bridge between the 20th century traditions and the changes to come. Only a few years later, in 2004 and 2005, the Jefferson nickel design would undergo dramatic changes as part of the Westward Journey series, commemorating Lewis and Clark's expedition. That makes the 2001 nickel one of the last to carry the original Schlag design before the redesigns began, adding a touch of historical importance to its profile. Collectors often prize coins that serve as transitional pieces, marking the end of one era and the beginning of another. The story of the 2001 nickel is not just about numbers, mints, or errors, it's about imagination and discovery. Picture the excitement of holding a simple coin and realizing that beneath its everyday appearance lies a fortune. For some, it's a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, like unearthing buried treasure. For others, it's about the meticulous pursuit of perfection, spending years searching for the highest grade example, no matter the cost. And then there are those who collect for love of history, cherishing the connection to Thomas Jefferson, Monticello, and the ideals of liberty and unity that the coin represents. And now, after this deep dive into the world of the 2001 nickel, let's come to the part that everyone has been waiting for, its value. While most 2001 nickels are worth exactly 5 cents and will forever remain so, there are a select few that defy the odds. Era coins, proof coins in perfect condition, and ultra-rare examples have reached astonishing heights in private sales and auctions. One particular 2001 nickel, unique in its preservation and rarity, has been valued at a mind-blowing $21 million. That's right, $21 million for a coin that was born as a humble piece of pocket change. It's the ultimate reminder that in the world of coins, the line between ordinary and extraordinary is razor thin. So, next time you come across a nickel from 2001, don't dismiss it as just another coin. Look closely. Inspect the details, check for errors, consider its condition, and remember the incredible story it carries. Because who knows? You just might be holding the next multi-million-dollar treasure, a coin that transforms from 5 cents into 21 million. And that is the magic of numismatics, the thrill of discovery, the value of history, and the extraordinary hidden within the ordinary.